Yes, tech gatekeeping exists and it sucks, and we need to stop it. Today we'll talk about what it is, how it manifests, why it's harming our industry as a whole. Also stick around for some bonus tips on how I avoided tech gatekeepers and how to deal with them when confronted. Also stick around to see who won the most recent giveaway for the Keychron K2 keyboard. I know this is a weird video to announce a prize, right? Let's go!
This that venti fried chicken, that venti fried chicken, this that.
Hey VFC fam, it's your boy Joshua Tech Dev Walker, Venti Fried Chicken author, and global cloud slinger. This channel is dedicated to cloud computing and technology topics. So if you're interested in cloud or tech, you should subscribe for weekly content, dropping 2 videos a week, and you definitely want to be here in October as we're diving deep into Terraform automation. And if you don't know what Terraform is, don't fret, look at the video above. So first of all, what is tech gatekeeping in the first place? My definition of tech gatekeeping is someone directly or indirectly trying to block someone from getting into our industry, or demeaning or diminishing someone's skills based on their rigid outlook. This can be based on elitism, sexism, race, but usually shows up in unconscious bias. Based on the people judging someone based on what they believe an engineer should be, or what their standard of, I'm in this club and you're not, which usually boils down to elitism, sexism, and you guessed it, race. And I get it, this is very vague, so let's just talk about some very specific examples from my own personal story. So once upon a time, I was really into React Native specifically because I wanted to get into mobile development at the time. There was a gentleman I really liked in the community that I looked up to because he was just super bright, full stack guy, super smart. But he's the reason I almost left the tech industry, just from him trying to destroy me in a public forum for asking a question when he knew I was learning. What I think about all the time is how I barely survived that interaction. Like, it was so bad that I was like, hey, maybe this place isn't for me. And I was in the military, so I got tough skin, you know what I mean? And then what's scarier is, based on me seeing him like over 24 times after that, he's never felt like that was a big interaction, Which shows how harmful we can be on accident, really. Same thing for TikTok. I mean, really, I'm out here doing all of this work because I really believe in the transformation through technology, and I know what it's done for my life, and I just want that for others. But then there's just people that constantly challenge you, and not in like a constructive way where they're challenging you on a point or giving you something that'll help you grow, just challenging you to demean you. I see it the worst with my female counterparts on TikTok that I work with. They're great creators, they're award-winning engineers, but yet you have these gatekeepers that are saying like girls don't code, or you should be a project manager, and other ugly stupid stuff like that. And then I think about all of these people that are beacons of hope that are trying to get people in the industry. What if we didn't make it? Between this channel, between my book, between all the stuff I've done in the nonprofit realm for technology, imagine if I didn't make it. Not only would it affect my own family, but there's so many people that I've helped. I literally over 100 people that I've got into technology, or maybe they get into technology years later and it's still not what it was supposed to be. We have to be mindful how we're being the people that are just generally interested in being where we are. My last but funniest example is someone saying I'm not an engineer. And this was all based on college credential. I mean, to be honest, none of us really work on a train, right? I mean, by definition, I technically do work on machines, virtual machines. But if we're waiting for everyone to come from computer science degrees, then we are doomed. Don't get me wrong, I have some amazing friends that went through computer science programs and they are sharp and I love them. But I've met some of my favorite engineers and some of the best engineers that came from other fields as well. So let's just have an open mind. Let's talk about how it harms our industry. The way the industry is growing each year, there will always be more technical jobs than people, in my opinion. So why the hell are we actively pushing people away? En masse. What's doubly frustrating is all of the gatekeepers I know are super smart. So instead of pushing people away, why not train them up in the excellence that you expect? As you guys know, I'm a veteran, I was in the military, and they didn't expect me to be buff as soon as I got to boot camp. To me, the tech industry should be the same way. We're not even giving people a chance to see if they're cut out for our industry before we're dissuading them to even start. Also, were we born engineers? I know I wasn't. My first words weren't Terraform. Technology is just moving too wide and too fast for us to be pushing people away. We need to at least give them a shot. And a shot doesn't always mean paying people to learn either. Just being more helpful than hurtful. It adds no value to your life by telling someone not to get into tech. I'm just saying. Let's just have a little humility. So as I said, I wanted to give you some tips on pushing back against gatekeeping and probably more importantly, avoiding a lot of gatekeeping. So here we go. Number 1, I attended meetups in person, and I think they're coming back in a big way now that You know, the COVID cases are going down, but of course go by your discretion. But people get really weird online. Drake was right when he said that those trigger fingers turn to Twitter fingers, because once people get behind the keyboard, they are savages in a lot of these forms. Being in person for the meetup, it helps you establish a nice human connection, and people are less apt to be, you know, just jerks. And people are just overall just more well behaved in a public forum. I feel like the empathy I got and all that stuff would have been way different if I would have just started off trying to jump into a Slack channel and asking for help. Of course, there are some exceptions of great forums that I'm a part of. One of them is some of the Discord servers that I'm a part of for Tech Talk, which is the tech branch of TikTok. I'll add those in the description, as those are some of my favorite people. My second tip is to work with people that are already in your network, because you're not so much of a stranger danger to them, and so they'll be maybe flattered that you're reaching out to them because you see them as an expert and help you out. I've had this happen multiple times, and honestly, when people approach me the right way, I help them 99% of the time. I've had some of the best people I've ever met referred to me by other friends that I like, and you know, we grew a great friendship, and I was able to help them get into tech based on that. You're less apt to be a jerk when someone references you, you know, a friend that you already like and have a relationship. My number 4 tip is you run your own race. Like, you should be really gauging yourself against yourself. You know how much and how impactful tech can be to you, so don't let other people dissuade you from keeping going. If you're talking to someone that's being toxic and they don't really want to help you, then move on to the next person, move on to the next resource. Don't sit there banging your head, you know? My 5th tip is just to kill them with kindness. It's really hard to be a jerk when someone is being nice, although it still happens. This is one of the strategies I use where it was like, hey, someone's going off on me about like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that, you shouldn't be doing this, and you're like, hey, I'm learning. Thank you for the tip. Do you have any other tips that'll help me grow? You'll be surprised how many times it changes the tide for you. And I know this isn't the perfect world, and sometimes I can be really petty, so I understand that that can be situational. Number 6 is for my tech leaders. If you see something, you need to say something. Silence is being complicit. I will not allow anyone to bash anyone from the cloud gang based on them trying to learn. If you're trying to better yourself, then I'm in your corner. And since I've been in the industry, I'm happy to go head to head with someone else in the industry if it means your well-being being protected, because I can take it. In closing, if you feel attacked in this video, I did this out of pure love. I did this really because me and you have it more common than we have uncommon. But your nerdy self needs to work through your personal baggage and stop becoming the same bullies that we were fighting growing up. You have a lot to offer the world besides snarky pull requests. I'm rooting for you too. Let's help the next wave of people that we need in this industry get up to speed. And if you're just getting started, stay encouraged. I promise if you try for a sustained amount of time, you will break through. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And specifically, don't be afraid to ask me for help. Honestly, I love you all in the tech community because the tech community changed my life. And I just want the same for others, like I said.
Sheesh, I almost forgot to announce the winner of the contest. Congrats to username Migos for winning this wireless keyboard. And if you didn't win, don't worry, I'm going to be doing a lot more contests in the future, as the Cloud Gang knows.
Train, inspire, relate,